everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here to talk about an awesome movie I just watched called Mildred Pierce. As you can see behind me, wow, what a fucking incredible movie. Very well written, very well directed. Of course, it's Michael Curtis who, or Curtiz, I think maybe is how you say his name, Curtiz. So, Casablanca director. And I watched the Criterion 4K, and I first of all, I gotta say it's just fucking beautiful. Like, it's incredibly beautiful. And I do a show called Criterion Watch for Indie Film Cafe, and a lot of times we review movies like this already, but I don't know. There's something about this movie that, really got me like happy and excited and all that fun stuff. So great movie. Had a blast watching it. It's one of those films that just actually took my breath away about it because um I saw things coming and I didn't see things coming, sort of thing. Even including the ending, which I don't really I sort of want to get into, so I'm gonna do that. This is a spoiler discussion. If you haven't seen Mildred Pierce, you're gonna want to watch it and then watch my review because it is really incredible. But also what I'm gonna tell you, all the stuff I'm gonna tell you is stuff that it's better off that you watch it anyway because like I'm not going to be able to tell you like exactly the way it is. So, the movie is basically about this woman, Mildred Pierce, who becomes Mildred Pierce, what was her last name? Mildred Pierce Baragon. And so basically what happens is Mildred in the beginning we see that uh a man is murdered and the last words out of his mouth are Mildred. So we think, oh man, this woman murdered this guy, and then she goes to go murder her. She was gonna go kill herself, it looked like she was gonna jump off and start swimming with the fishes. And this patrolman stops her and says basically the best part of the movie, in my opinion. It was one of the best parts. Like the policeman's like, if you go swimming, I gotta go swimming. And you killing yourself is gonna give me pneumonia. Um, you trying to kill yourself gonna give me pneumonia, something like that. And so he ends up, kind of in a way, I guess, saving her life. And then she decides to frame the murder on this guy Wally. Now, when you get to meet Wally, you get to see more and more of his stuff. He's played by Jack Carson. He's just this awful person. Joan Crawford plays Mildred wonderfully too. I might add. So throughout the whole movie, you sort of see that she has these two children, these two daughters. One of them is young and very boy-like, tomboyish, but wants to be I guess a ballet dancer, and the daughter wants to be a singer and stuff like that and play music with the piano. And so, but then you start to realize like the daughter's very the older daughter, the one who wants to play piano and everything, the girl that's in there is just a very sort of evil. She's very materialistic. She thinks like everything is that you have to marry somebody to get rich, and you have to live that life because if you don't live that life you're pathetic and sad and low, and all this stuff. So she what was her name in it? Vita's just this obnoxious brat, and the other girl, she's a very sweet lady, a sweet girl, but she ends up dying of pneumonia, which is weird that they brought pneumonia up twice in the movie. Um, maybe that was the catalyst of her not wanting to give that guy pneumonia because her daughter died of it. I don't know. Maybe. Um, but so anyway, Mildred ends up taking a job because she ends up divorcing her husband. She ends up taking a job to make money, and she has to hide it away from her daughter because her daughter thinks that I guess women shouldn't be like waitressing or doing that stuff, like it's below them kind of thing. And so when the daughter finds out, she tells her like her plan was to work her way up and become a restaurant owner. By the way, she's telling the police this. This is so there's two things in this movie that really irked me. Um, First of all, the idea that like she would tell the cops like her life story, took us an hour and was it 50 minutes? So like or yeah, an hour and 50 minutes. So like I don't know how long it was. They were inside the room while she was just telling this whole story of what happened. So it kind of irked me because I was like, no cops are just gonna let this person ramble on about their life, And there is one part where they kind of interrupt her, and and say, that basically why are you telling us this, whatever, get to the point, kind of stuff like that. Like you can kind of hear her narrating, and then the detective will say something, and so. Uh, Come to find out later that the cops already knew everything. They were just like letting her ramble on. And so we get the whole story. So we get the story of how she meets through Wally, the jerk guy. She gets to because he's really good at business. He ends up kind of working with this one guy, Berrigan, to basically buy to get a restaurant place that was really nice and uh and they called it Mildred's. And Mildred had her own place and she was able to do all this wonderful things. Whatever. So the daughter gets into some trouble at some point in the story. She ends up marrying this guy and then divorcing him and then blackmailing him. Moral blackmail, which I had never even heard of moral blackmail, where apparently moral blackmail is when you what was that time? Right, please tell me I got this on here. So I did ask Google what, yeah. So a wrongful strategy intended to force a person to perform an act by manipulating her circumstances so as to make it morally wrong for her to do anything else. So basically, she uses a baby to get $10,000 out of this guy. And I guess $10,000 in 1940s was a lot of money. This was 1940s, right? 1945. So, it was such a strange kind of thing. But by the way, this actress who played the daughter still alive. As for like IMDb records and everything. So I don't know. That's awesome. If she is, she is. She was in like the Buster Keaton story and a few other movies. But this was an incredible role for her. She was such a terrible human being. Such a terrible. She was a brat who was like a mega, like mecha brat. She was such a terrible person. I loved it. I loved every part of her because she was like, she was those people that you sort of know about, but like you never expect like it to be this bad, ever. Um, but she was wonderful. She did a great job. As I said, Joe Crawford always does a great job. I don't think I've ever seen anything bad from her. Now there could be, and I just haven't seen it. Um, but yeah, she's wonderful in this. And Jack Carson, I want to say that's his name. Jack Carson. Let me see if it has it right here. Uh Wally Faye. Yep. Jack Carson. Oh, he was such a scumbag. I mean, there were some really terrible humans in this movie. The guy that she ended up liking, Pierce, who was her first husband, um, he was so you sort of at first you see him as sort of this layabout. I think he had a business, but it wasn't doing well or something. And he was with this he would keep hanging out with this woman, and and the Mildred expected, suspected a uh what is it, an affair, so she suspected an affair with him. And yeah, um it was it was crazy. Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah, this movie like there's so many twists and turns through it, but like you really get to see like everybody's life and what's going on, and people keep coming in and out of her life. Um, the three men especially that were like a big part of this, and Baragon, or I think it's his name, was murdered. Um, he uh he wasn't a terrible person. He wasn't a good. He wasn't a good guy. He fucked her over badly, and everything. And he was the reason why, and that could have given her a good enough motive to murder him and everything. But I mean, they really, the detectives already knew who did it. The daughter did it, because she was angry at him and wrath, and she's so a person who, like, her character deserved to be in jail. I don't know what Ida was doing there. Ida was there. And Ida was this woman uh who helped out. Like, she met Mildred at her old restaurant that she worked at. I guess she owned or managed or something. I think she was managing a restaurant. And so she gave Mildred her first job and helped her out and got her on her feet before Mildred decided to own her own business. I'm like surprised that like it wasn't that long before she owned the business and everything, but yeah, it was crazy. There was just a lot of stuff. It kind of reminded me of movies like Citizen Kane. Um, I mean, I would almost put it up there with Citizen Kane as being like a really fucking great movie. But like Citizen Kane, instead of like a police officer talking and blah blah blah, you get like the all the different people being interviewed and talking about Kane. So, and then you get like you understand what like Rosebud is by the end of it, and you don't know what it is in the beginning, and the end explains everything. Like, this, and so and people can say it's a deep meaning, and this movie is fairly simple why everything happened. It was just a bit of rage, and anger, uh, but you're leading it all up, and she's explaining her side of everything and why she did it, which she didn't do. She was just saying she did it because she wanted to save her daughter, and her daughter's like last words to her at the end of the movie was just awful. It's like, it's fine, mom, I'll get by, or whatever. And I was just like, what a terrible human. Why do you care about this? And it's because she loves her. She loves her daughter. That's the only daughter she has now. She doesn't want anything bad to happen to this girl. And this girl is just horrible. She even slapped her mother. I mean, she was such a terrible human being. And the whole time, Mildred loved her, could not stop loving her. I mean, there was times where she told her to get out, she wanted her gone, whatever, and there was still something inside her that wanted her to come back and see her daughter and be with her daughter, and it's such a sweet thing. And even though she didn't, and made me wonder like what's gonna happen to Mildred? Like why like what's gonna happen now? I know there was like a remake of this or something, or was there like I think there might have been a, TV series. Yeah, there's like a mini TV series. Um, yeah, so it's on HBO Max. How many episodes? There's 5 parts to it. I don't kind of like that. I'd rather it have been actual series because I want to know, like, I almost want it to be about Mildred's life after, everything happened, but like set in maybe today or whatever's time, like as if the stuff happened like yesterday in present time. That would have been cool. I do like it. I don't think anybody who plays Mildred in this. Oh, it's Kate Winslet. Ooh, Guy Pearce is in it. Who plays Wally? James LeGros plays Wally. LeGros. I don't know. And who's Veda is Evan. Okay, Evan Rachel Wood sells me. I'm watching it. I'm watching it later. Like I think it would be a really well done movie, but I think they're gonna set it in the 40s. Right? Like, are they setting it in the 40s or is it today's time? 1931 in Glendale. Okay. So yeah, it seems like a movie that, I guess the having it be a mini series might work for a remake. I would prefer a TV series. Like, I think I bet, but like I said, like as long as it's after what happens, because like we've already seen the movie, and now we've got a miniseries, which I think is still the same movie, it's just longer. Um, I think it would be better if it's a continuation, you know. You get to see what Mildred's life was like, and maybe it's just hard on her, like she's missing her daughter. She her ex-husband is now murdered, and all this other stuff's going on. Like what else will happen? I'd love to see Wally get back, all this stuff. So anyway, I'm excited to browse into that. But I really enjoyed this movie. Like I thought it was incredibly well done. It was cinematically just beautiful. And on 4K that really works well. So, just so you know, so you get the 4K and then you get the Blu-ray, right? So I have the Blu-ray right here and the 4K is in my uh Blu-ray or 4K player. But on the 4K you don't get any extras, just the subtitles and the movie. Which they gotta have subtitles. I always love Criterion. If you're watching, keep putting subtitles on your movies. The ones that don't have subtitles are really hard to read, like hard to understand and stuff. Need subtitles. Um, I think they've done that for almost every one of their Blu-rays now. So anyway, so there is a conversation with critics, Molly Haskell and Robert Polito, excerpt from the 1970 episode of the David Frost Show featuring Joan Crawford. Um, Joan Crawford, the Ultimate Movie Star, a 2002 feature-length documentary. Q&A with actor Anne Blyth from the 2006. 2006. How old? She would have been old. Because she's in her 90s. She was born like 1928. So 28, 60. Gosh, she was like 80, almost 80, uh, in there. Wow. Alrighty then. Yeah, let's see. Conducted by film historian Eddie Muller. Segment from the 1969 episode of the Today Show featuring Mildred Pierce, novelist James M. Cain, and a trailer. Plus this awesome booklet that you get. So when you do get a Criterion film, you get a booklet and it like that, and I loved it. I love it. So Mildred Pierce was not like I didn't know how this was gonna be. Like I knew it was like a noir film, And it says a melodrama, and I was like, ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna like a melodrama. For a melodrama, it had some really good comedic moments that kept me very, very interested. So my point with that is if you're gonna make a melodrama, make it at least exciting enough with that. But aside from that, like this movie was just a lot of fun. Um, from start to finish, it goes by like that, you know. You're kind of sucked into the world. And I like this is the Blu-ray Hunter, right? So my idea is I want to review these different, movies that I wouldn't normally review. Um, or like I might review Mildred Pierce for Criterion Watch, but it'll be a couple more seasons down the line. I've got a list of movies already, like ready. And unless Paul picks it, which I don't think he will, not that I don't think he thinks this will be a good movie, but I just don't think this is the type he'll pick for Criterion. Um, I, I look at this and I'm like, I want to review it. I want to check it out I want to check it out. And if I check it out, I'm probably going to review it. That's just how I do things now. If I watch a movie on Blu-ray, most likely I'm reviewing it for either Blu-ray Hunter, Indie Film Cafe, or a Blu-ray or Horror Film Lovers. One of those channels will get a review of the movie on Blu-ray. So either Blue Cheese or Blu-ray Hunter reviews or Horror Film Lover reviews, kind of thing. So, um, or First Time Watch Fridays, which I'm doing a lot of Blu-rays on there too. So and that's on Horror Film Lovers. But see, that's the thing. Like, I'm just trying to broaden my horizons, watch things that are different, and then basically I'll have a record of all these different things I've watched. And if I forgot, oh, I haven't seen this in forever, I can look back and look at these reviews. So for me it's good like that. For you guys, hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you like it. The other thing, I was gonna mention another thing. Another thing that kind of irks me about these movies, and it's not like just whatever, it's like all these type of movies, is that what is it? The characters always get out from the passenger side, out the driver's side of the car, and that just bothers me. I know there's a reason for it. I think I heard what the reason was before, but like it just bothers me when I see it because I'm like, why get out and walk around? But I guess that's the reasoning is because, it takes more time and it's a blocking issue and it's just easier for the people to do that. It's the same reason as like you weren't allowed to see people lay in the same bed in the movies and stuff. So you see like people in different beds, and that always bothers me. These are just rules with movie making, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Um, but it's something that irked me. So there's a couple things that irked me in this movie, but those are like very small in comparison to the fact that this was a really well done movie. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. I would definitely recommend the Criterion Blu-ray or 4K, 4K. I think there probably is a Blu-ray, but just Blu-ray. But if you can get the 4K, get the 4K. It is well worth it. It's an incredible film. And it's good to have in the collection. There's going to be times I'm probably going to introduce this movie to somebody who's never seen it, and we're never even heard of it. There's a lot of people who have not heard of this movie, and I really would like to get the word out. So another reason why I was glad to do this review. So anyway, thank you guys for watching the Blu-ray Hunter reviews. Join me next week for another one. It's probably going to be a Blu-ray. I think what I'm doing right now, and I don't know if I'm going to keep this pattern going or not, but I'm doing Blu-ray 4K, Blu-ray 4K, Blu-ray 4K. So we're going to be doing switching every other week will be a 4K, and then the other week will be a Blu-ray or whatever. So just bear with me while I do all these things because I want to keep trying different stuff. Um, but all right, hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you guys think. Talk to you later. Bye.